Just fine. We're doing great. Love it here. And we're excited to have a great show today. We are working things out on the back end as I figure out how to go onto Facebook Live, but have no fear because Aidan is the man with a plan and he has a stellar newscast that's going to transcend time. It's going to be the most incredible newscast that I'm excited to hear. So go ahead, Mr. Aidan, take the wavelength and go for it.
You got it. In international news this morning, North Korea performed missile tests just hours before South Korea's submarine reveal, claiming to have their first hypersonic rocket. They still have claims to hope for a peace summit with South Korea later this year. In America, trees can lower temperatures by a max of 10 degrees, but a study published last year by the U.S. Forest Service found that we lose around 36 million trees annually from urban and rural communities over a 5-year period. If we continue on this path, cities will become warmer, more polluted, and generally more unhealthy for inhabitants. In New Jersey, we have surpassed 1 million cases of COVID 19, with 1,857 new positive tests and 37 deaths. All 21 counties have reported high rates of transmission. The U.S. has reported the most cases at 43 million. In Montclair, today there are ice cream sandwiches in the Student Center from 12 to 2 and an office trivia event tonight at 8 p.m. in room 126 in the Student Center. It's going to be a cloudy day today with a high of 67.
Wow, Aidan, that was once again, as I hyped you up in the beginning, a stellar newscast. And you know what? For that, I am thankful for you, Mr. Aidan. And we have a lot to talk about on the show today, guys. We're going to be talking about U.S. infrastructure plans in Latin America, COVID-19, and of course, the ever exciting Squid Game on Netflix. But all that is what is eventually going to happen. And then we're going to get into some interesting stuff right now. And we are going to talk about Netflix's most popular shows because guess what? Normally we have a sports cast, but Tommy is not here today. So we decided to switch things up and talk about the top 10 series by total view hours in the first 28 days, according to CNET.com, who went into the details and found out what people are watching. At number one, it's Bridgerton season 1 with over 625 million hours. That's crazy. I haven't seen Bridgerton. I saw the one main actor. He was on SNL one time. So that was pretty interesting. I thought he was funny on that episode. But other than that, I don't really know much about Bridgerton. I know it's like a kind of romance show. But number two, one of my favorite Netflix shows is Money Heist Part 4, which has garnered over 619 million hours of content being watched by the people. Stranger Things 3 at 582 million hours. The Witcher Season 1, 541 million hours. And then at number 5, 13 Reasons Why Season 2. I don't really like that show. And it's also at number 6 for season 1. But I feel like that's just a very depressing show. And I try not to be watching depressing things like that. Okay. Then at number 7, the one and only You, season 2 with 457 million hours of watched content. Then at number 8, Stranger Things 2, 427 million hours. Money Heist comes in at number 9 with part 3 of their amazing series that I personally love to watch. And at number 10, Ginny and Georgia season 1, 381 million hours. I've never even heard of Ginny and Georgia. Very interesting. Huh. Well, guys, in case you couldn't tell, it's only me alone here as we are getting our co-hosts eventually to come into the studio. Aidan, I sent him like a little intern. That's what happens when you're a rookie here at the station. You are used as a little intern, little boy. Anyways, we're going to go into story 1, which is North Carolina hospital network fires around 175 staffers for not getting vaccinated. A North Carolina hospital network says that has been fired nearly 200 workers for failing to take a COVID-19 vaccine. Dr. David H. Priest, chief for safety of Novant Health, says at Tuesday press briefing that roughly 175 staffers did not comply with the vaccine mandate deadline. By doing that, by not getting vaccinated, they voluntarily resigned, Priest said. The departures will not impact staffing at the hospital system over 35,000 employees, Priest said, because the hospital has been using temporary staff for the duration of the pandemic to make up for shortages from staff falling ill with obviously COVID. As of this morning, 97% of our patients with COVID 19 in our ICUs, 98% of our COVID patients on ventilators right now are unvaccinated. This continues to be a pandemic of the unvaccinated. There are occasionally breakthrough cases, but you can still see the vaccines are holding up. In a statement, Novant Health said that staff who obtain religious or medical exemption will be required to use additional PPE and submit to weekly coronavirus testing. In a final statement, Priest has said it's okay if a small number of people are upset about the vaccine requirements. That is what has been going on. Aidan, I know you just walked back in. Do you have anything to say about this?
Well, if anything, I'm happy about it. Like the fact that he said in the end, he's like, it's all right. Like if a small amount of people are upset about it, then it's fine. There's always going to be people who are obsessed with like either their freedom or just sticking it to authority. But at the end of the day, if you upset them to save lives, it's important.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it any better. Guys, we have a special guest here today. And by special, I mean reoccurring guest. She has shown up on this very, very cold September day. Crystal, what's going on? Did you hear anything about that story? You got anything to say for us?
Good morning. I just want to say that this cold outside just really caught me off guard. Like I was not expecting it. Regarding the story, I think that, with the temperature drop and people being nervous and whether or not they have like COVID or it's just a regular cold, I think this is just one of those conversations where it's going to be happening for the next couple of months where it's the unvaccinated versus like vaccinated. And then there's the aspect of, well, is it COVID? Is it a cold? Is it the flu? So many questions will arise, and it did last winter with when it comes to COVID. But when it comes to the vaccines, I don't know. I was reading yesterday how in Massachusetts, 20 state troopers, or no, there was not a number yet, but there was a few dozens of state troopers that had put in their intent of resignation letter because kind of the same thing. They don't want to get vaccinated for whatever reason they may be, and they don't want to be forced to that. And the governor also gave them a deadline that they had to meet and they didn't. So I think, believe it or not, I think people are very adamant, whether or not we agree or not. I think the people who have not gotten vaccinated yet are very adamant of not doing it. And if that means quitting their jobs, I think I think that's what they're going to do. And it's pretty crazy if you think about it, because wow, all these people are just ready to quit their jobs. I mean, I'm here for it if you got money, but if you don't, that could be an issue.
Money is 1,000% an issue, but it's also a very huge issue is infrastructure in Latin America. So, Crystal, we got another story coming up here. Why don't you take the lead while I try to figure out how to work things in the back end and stream to Facebook Live? All right, back to you, Crystal.
Absolutely. So the U.S. is planning infrastructure projects in Latin America, and many may believe that this isn't the right idea, but U.S. officials are touring Latin America this week to scout infrastructure projects. A delegation of diplomatic and development officials led by President Joe Biden's Deputy National Security Advisor, Dalip Singh, met with Colombian President Ivan Duque with trips to Ecuador and Panama expected this week. The trip will allow U.S. officials to speak with the private sector, civil society, and traditionally marginalized groups. According to officials, the program is focused on areas including climate, health, digital technology, and gender equality. A formal U.S. B3W launch event is planned for early next year that will include details of some initial projects aimed at narrowing the $40 trillion needed by developing nations by 2035. According to a senior Biden administration official, it is not yet decided how much capital the program will ultimately allocate. This, I don't know. Aidan, what do you think about this? Because when I first read this, my first thing was there has to be a catch. And I don't know if it's just the society we live in or me being young, but I feel like you always have to ask, what is the catch? And I say this because this could be a very, very good thing, right? Infrastructure to these countries, to making sure they're including, and the program is focused around like climate change, health, and gender equality. This sounds great. I'm here. I'm all for it. But then it's like, are they gonna actually follow through? Is it really at the best interest of the people?
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing reading that article. I was reading that, and it all sounds great on paper. It does. Like, I mean, exactly what you said. The equality, like infrastructure, climate, health, it all sounds great. But I can't think of a single time where American government stuck its nose in another country's business and things ended okay. So I feel like there's some catch, there's some like ulterior motive that they're getting out of this. And I don't know. I feel like you. I like if everything goes great, great. Maybe I'm just paranoid, but I don't fully trust it.
And I don't think anybody really blames you, Aiden, or blames us for that matter, for being paranoid, because it's kind of what you said. There's so much distrust and so much things going on that's like, I can't even fully trust you. But I will say, and I know some may disagree with me, but this administration seems to care for many of the important issues that a lot of people care. So hopefully, this is a positive thing and it's not something negative or it's gonna come and bite us.
I agree. So far, this administration has shown to want the best for a majority of the people. But it's still that like creeping voice in the back of my head. Don't trust it. Something's wrong.
Aiden said the majority. That's funny. I think and this is just, this is not even like, well, I guess it's an opinion, but I think Republicans will disagree with you.
They always have.
Since day one, Aiden.
Day one.
Day one. Hey guys, I appreciate you for carrying on the morning buzz with that amazing story, guys. I finally figured out how to work technology. We are streaming live on Facebook Live. I'm so happy, guys. This is obviously the Morning Buzz Wednesday. We are about to go into a quick break.
What song are you gonna hit us with?
What song?
This morning, Isaiah?
I'm feeling in a very festive mood. Me and Aiden were talking about this pre-show, and it's gonna be electric. It's gonna be legendary. It's gonna be, it's just with the way the weather was this morning.
How about you just play the song?
Okay.
Thank you. But no, I am excited to find out what song he's referring to because I don't know. I feel like Isaiah's music taste is questionable, and well, no, his show taste is 1000% questionable. His music taste, I don't know. Well, I guess we're about to find out, and all of the listeners are also
we're gonna find out right now. Okay.
I cannot wait.
Okay, enough singing in the morning. We are back here on the Morning Buzz Wednesday, September 29th. It is my brother's birthday today, so happy birthday, Richard.
Birthday. Happy birthday, Richard. Is Richard cute?
Richard, is he cute? I mean, no one's as cute as me, so it's hard having to carry everyone in the family with my beauty.
Oh wow.
Anyways, we have some more great stories coming up, and later on, an exclusive interview made by our head producer Kenny Horn as he interviews Glenn Shuck. It's going to be quite the entertaining interview. But until then, we are going to go into our next story of the day. We are still echoing. I'm not sure why. Anyways, story number 3. New Jersey's best cheesecake comes from this South Jersey Shop National site says. According to eatthis.com, Yanni's Kitchen makes the best cheesecake in New Jersey. Eat This has compiled a list of the best cheesecakes in every state. That's right, all 50, even that poor excuse of a state, Maine. Disgusting. Yanni's House of Cheesecake in Clayton, New Jersey has been crowned the king/queen of New Jersey when it comes to cheesecake. Here's what Eat This had to say about Yanni's. Something that may be even sweeter than the desserts served at Yanni's may have been the story of how this bakery came to be. Yanni's House of Cheesecake was founded after Yanni's baked a homemade cheesecake for his future wife that was included in his proposal dinner for her. Oh, how romantic. Anyways, Yanni's makes more than 40 different variations of dessert, from classics like original New York cheesecake and cherry cheesecake to Reese's chunk sundae cheesecake, pumpkin cheesecake, and salted caramel cheesecake. They even make cheesecake cupcakes and wedding cheesecakes along with sweet potato pies. How many times can I say cheesecake in an hour? That is the determination. Are you guys cheesecake people? What do you guys think of the story? We'll send it to Crystal first.
I have yet to try a cheesecake where blown away. So
Facts.
I first of all, I think they should chose a better name because cheese and cake in the same word, not even same sentence, the same word,
Mm.
makes me a little queasy. Makes me questionable. It makes me I don't know. It does makes
Interesting.
me uncomfortable. uh, but yeah, no, not a fan. Will I check this place out? Potentially.
It's all the way in South Jersey though, so do you really want to go that far for
What's South Jersey?
it's by Delaware.
It was did he not pick up on the sarcasm?
Is it by Delaware?
I think are you are you wrong? And did you just try to answer my question and be wrong? How funny would that be?
Aiden, cheesecake.
I'm actually, yeah, no, I'm a big cheesecake guy, like a huge fan. My grandmother used to make it a lot, and I'm kind of stuck with it now. I don't like it, but it's one of my favorite desserts.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So when are you gonna bring us cheesecake?
Listen, this Thanksgiving I will bring a whole platter of
Wow.
little cheesecakes in.
Cheesecake tasting on the morning buzz. Is that confirmed, Aiden?
I will do my best.
He
She
said-
only-
he said-
she wraps.
He said, I will try.
Right. He
My
said,
grandmother, she gets upset at me if I don't finish her food. She will like pack me a
Oh.
whole like care package. I can guarantee it's gonna be
Mm.
3
That's
times as
funny.
big going back to college.
That's so funny. What are you again? I know. Or like, where does your like,
Oh, I'm
your
very
grandma-
Italian and
Ah.
like Welsh and a few other things. Like every other white guy
He said
ever.
2%.
Every other white
2%.
guy ever.
He said 2%.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
start
2% Native American.
There you go.
100%. How does that song go? Oh, never mind.
Get out of here, Aiden. My thoughts on cheesecake is I think it's gross. I don't really like cheesecake at all.
Really?
Yeah, it's just not. I think it's a texture and tasting for me. Like none of it. Like it's. Ugh. I do not get excited about cheesecake at all.
You're
But I
so
saw the
weird.
story and I thought it'd be interesting to talk about cheesecake in the morning.
Um.
What do you? Oh, okay. Hold on, quick. Before we go on to the next story, have you guys ever had like cheese donuts? Where it's like, it's not like literal. I feel like it's not literal cheese,
Yeah. Crickets.
but they call it cheese. No, okay,
Like the
maybe it's
cream
just
I
an
don't even know
custom.
what those are.
In Puerto Rico, a lot of like Boston cream is not a thing. It's more like this custard cheese donut with chocolate icing. So it's like a Boston cream, but the filling inside has I don't know. It's delicious, I think. Sometimes I used to put it in the microwave to make it seem like it was a fresh donut.
Oh wow. Wow.
Bakery
he
exclusive.
He is coming up with these new inventions. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Where
Wow.
breaking.
Cheesecake. Anyways, we have. Why do I keep saying anyways today? It's kind of annoying.
agree.
Crystal, we have one more story in the Montclair area this time.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us about it?
Yes, and we're gonna steer away a little bit away from the happy news of cheesecake. And although I don't like it, I know a lot of people like it. So I can't wait to see if they actually check this place out. Moving right along, 3 rounds of shots fired outside of Cuban Pete's, police say. For everybody who doesn't know, Cuban Pete's, it's a Montclair restaurant, and gunshots were fired outside of the famous almost Montclair restaurant, Cuban Pete's. At 12:04 a.m., police responded to a report of shots being fired. They eventually learned of a verbal altercation that occurred inside the restaurant. The altercation then escalated and made its way outside, becoming physical. This would lead to one male firing 3 rounds from his handgun. There were no injuries by the shots fired, and all 3 shells casings were found at the scene. The shooter was described as a male approximately 5 feet and 9 inches tall with a thin build. He was last seen fleeing the crime scene on a motorcycle east on Bloomfield Avenue.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's a rough situation in that restaurant. And luckily no one was injured. And I'm assuming he shot the rounds to break up the fight. If I don't really know, but I imagine that's what his plan was, I guess.
I was
You
gonna
think he missed 3 times?
no, I don't think that. I think it was just kind of like a scare tactic
Yeah, that's
to
what I
kind
mean.
of
To like
ease or diffuse the
by
situation.
escalate it by de-escalating it, I guess.
Oh no, no, de-escalated it by taking it to the extreme.
There, that's okay. Yeah, that's the word.
But I don't I don't know if this is questionable. But anyway, yeah, have any of you ever been to Cuban Pete's? I know there was like a whole bunch of drama last year because they did not want to, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, but they didn't want to comply with the mask mandate or the vaccination one.
Oh, really?
Yes, there was like a whole issue about them.
I had no clue
And
about
then
that.
they were like, oh, we're gonna do what we want. And they ended up just opening. And
Hmm.
when they weren't supposed to, I think it was during the mandated uh what is it called when the
Like the quarantine thing where
yeah,
everyone was just like stay at home order
yeah,
or
it was
whatever.
something. It was something. I'm trying to look for it. But yeah, basically they didn't want to do it, and they were getting a ticket or something like that, and they just they really did not care. And I'm kind of shocked that they're up and running. I mean, I wasn't really following through with the story, but
Hmm.
it's kind of interesting if you think about it.
Well, so I've been. I don't really know much about that story, but I've been to Cuban Pete's before, and I think it was probably Hmm. Maybe a little bit before the pandemic, I would imagine. Yeah, I think it was before. And it was super busy and very popular. And it was like packed when we went to eat there. But I will say, side notes, I did not have the greatest things to say about Cuban Pete's. I thought it was not that great at all. Have you guys been there to eat?
Yeah, I went there when I was first joining the university. And
Mm,
I thought it was okay. Yeah, I
okay.
ate decent food.
Crystal, have you been there?
I have not,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah. So when are you gonna take me?
I wouldn't even take. I know I would take you to somewhere better because Cuban Pete was not it.
You know what it is,
What?
and I'm still gonna say it because it's not. It's Hispanic Heritage Month, and I get to say whatever I want.
It's a strike
But
one on the show.
yes, first one, Cuban Pete's. It's obviously a Cuban restaurant. It's obviously located in Montclair, and in Montclair, the population that lives in Montclair is predominantly white. So they cater to the white population because obviously that's the customers there. That's who is going to pay the prices and who you're catering to. So I hate to say it, but sometimes the seasoning, and I've seen this time after time. Like I've gone to Hoboken in New Jersey, which is like a very 90%, I want to say, of the population is white. And I go to a Mexican restaurant. It's like, oh my god, what? This is not Mexican. This is Tex-Mex. I don't know what this is, but this is not Mexican. So what I'm trying to say is like they either change it's just to cater to their clientele, right? And so maybe that's why Isaiah didn't find the food that appetizing. Is that it? Or
I think that could be a mixture of it.
Mhm.
I would imagine that would go into it. But the biggest thing is as I was eating it, the Cuban sandwich, I obviously feel that I make an extremely better Cuban sandwich in this
Here we
entire
go.
restaurant. And I take it personally when I am making a better Cuban sandwich than a restaurant that claims to be a Cuban restaurant. I find it annoying to me because I'm expecting to be blown out of the water and I should not be able to make it better than you. Therefore, that already took points off. Secondly, like I forgot what we ordered. It was like this shredded chicken dish. And the whole time I was eating, I was like, I feel like I could have just made this at home, wasted half the time, and paid a lot less money if I wanted like a similar experience to this. But when I went to a restaurant in Hoboken, the place that you just mentioned, their food was extremely better. Like it wasn't even close compared to the two. And I'm just obviously, once again, I will say this. I cook better than that restaurant as well.
Isaiah, I feel like I can never ask you for your opinions on restaurants
Why?
because you're always gonna be like, no, their food is horrible.
I
I
have
cook
high
better.
expectations though.
Me too. Oh my god, Isaiah, me too. And I say this
Hmm.
so passionately because every single time I go somewhere and I either send the food back or complain or say they could do better,
Hmm.
my friends always attack me because they think either A, I'm being a Karen, or B, I'm being complicated. And it's not. I work hard for my money. And I don't care. Like I really honestly wholeheartedly do not care spending like 50, $30 on a plate of food if it's worth it.
Yeah, it's
But
got
if
to be
it's
worth it.
yeah, if it's not worth it, I am no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Like I'm gonna complain. Why? Because A, I work hard for my money and I want to get my money's worth. I'm huge. Even if I was just well, I don't even know if I would have the same opinion if my money were to be just handed to me. But even if I just had money like that and I want to get my money's worth. I've always said this and I will always stand by that. I could be literally the richest person ever, but I am going to get my money's worth and I do not
Exactly.
care. And so that's why when restaurants send me something that I don't like, you best believe I'm getting on the phone and I'm complaining, or I'm going and I'm complaining, or I'm doing something.
Mhm.
And my friends always attack me because they think I'm being complicated and I should just cook. But honestly, I don't care. I would still continue to do it. But to answer the question of why Cuban Pete's was a bit in the news a couple of months ago, back in like the fall, winter time of last year, it was basically because he was not what Cuban Pete's restaurant was not complying with the indoor dining
Mm.
regulations and keeping the 6 feet the tables apart. At that point, we were at the restaurants can only have 25% of capacity and the tables must be kept 6 feet apart. And he said, uh, and based on this article, was that it's a free country and he's not going to do that. And I think that the whole, if I remember correctly, the whole idea behind this was because he didn't want to lose money or something along those lines.
Seems about right.
But just based on that, I feel like so many people made sacrifices and so many people did the 25% and did the 6 feet. And there's just it's so many people died. At bottom line, so many people died. And so if you chose not to follow it, guess you're free to do that. But I don't think I'll ever visit Cuban Pete's.
No, I would not recommend it. That's my personal opinion. Don't waste your time. But guys, before I go on another tirade about Cuban Pete's and their lack of flavor, we are going to go into a quick break. And when we come back, Aidan's going to talk the weather. And then we're going to have an exclusive interview with Glenn Shuck, made by our one and only Kenny Horn. We'll be right back here on the Morning Buzz. Guys, we are back, and during break, I interrupted Crystal's very impactful speech about the
About stuff, about life.
yeah,
But
and that's on me. But we have a show to do. What was the butt leading to,
Isaiah,
Crystal?
I just wanted to tell you that
Hmm?
today is National Coffee Day.
Let's
and-
go!
All right.
Yeah!
Oh, all right. Well, this caught me off guard. I'm
I
kidding.
love coffee,
But it
man.
is Happy National Coffee Day. I'm stoked. I literally drink like 2 cups of coffee
Yeah.
each and every day of my life
Mhm.
because that's what gets me through through the day. But nonetheless, it is National Coffee Day.
It is.
So
Thank you
there
for
you
that.
go. And I know
actually.
a lot of places are giving away free coffee. So do a little Google search
Mhm.
and find those places and
Yep.
go secure the bag. And thank you.
Secure the bag, guys.
Secure the bag.
Before we play this exclusive interview with Glenn Shuck, Aidan, tell us what the weather's going to be like today. It's already freezing. Hopefully, it'll warm up. Please give us some good news, Aidan.
It is going to warm up today. It's going to be cloudy, however, but we will have highs of 67 degrees. So a little bit chillier than usual.
Only 67.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this, and I literally thought of this in the morning, and I was like, I have to say this when I get there. So on TikTok, there's this trend or this sound that's been popularized for the last couple of weeks that says it's like a song that says, "I understood the assignment," and basically it means like, for example, if you lose weight, if you're like plus size and then you eventually lose weight and that's what the person wanted to do, they understood the
Mhm.
assignment to lose weight, you know what I mean? And it all differs. There's a whole bunch of them online, but I was laughing because you know how we recently transitioned from the summer to fall. I was laughing because I'm like, Mother Nature literally
For
understood the
real, though.
assignment. She understood the assignment, and the temperatures have been dropping.
Instantly.
And since like yesterday and the day before yesterday, like you are slowly but surely feeling it. And today was one of those days that you really, really felt it.
Ugh,
So
tragic.
there's that. She understood the assignment.
Mother Nature
Mother
has no
Nature.
chill. Actually, a lot of chill. But guys, we're gonna go to an interview with Glenn Shuck. Once again, Kenny Horn conducting the interview. And
My
we'll be back eventually with more stories, more fun times. But until then, it is Glenn Shuck on the Morning Buzz.
No.
And right now I am joined by one of those people. Glenn Shuck is a 1010 wins reporter and professional in residence at WMSC. Thank you for coming on the show, Glenn. Can you tell us about how you got started with college radio and what you did at your former station?
Yeah, and thanks for having me on. I mean, it's college radio is a great day, and it's fun to celebrate college radio. And congratulations to what you guys are doing too. It's awesome.
Well, your work helps us.
I went to high school in Ramsey in Bergen County. Grew up there, and I always wanted to do something on the radio. I was just always, I'm a lot older than you, obviously, but I was always. This is before all the different internets and things came out, but I was always fascinated by the radio, right? So I wanted to stay nearby, and I ended up going to Seton Hall, which has, like MSC has a great, tradition in radio going back a long time. So was very active doing sports and doing news director and then station manager my senior year. So I mean, I was, you probably can relate to this. I lived at the radio station. I made so many friends there. It was really, I just, I kind of decided to make it my life. And I was, the drill. I was there almost every day, all crazy hours. And I loved it. And, so it's just like, it was what I wanted to do. And the more I did it, the more I wanted to do it. So, I mean, I owe so much to college radio in terms of the people I met. We're in New York City area, you get internships and things. And it really, without college radio, I wouldn't be doing anywhere near what I'm doing now. So I'm really grateful that I did it.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that people like staying here all hours and all stuff like that, because the week leading up to this, people have been here to 2 or 3 in the morning working on stuff for college radio day, and people are just here late as it is. And it's funny because I have a show at midnight to 3 a.m. and people are like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "I love it. I get it." And you get that. That's really cool.
Yes, I mean, when you get it, right, you still, every time you probably come in there and you're jazzed up to get on the radio, right? And you're not really thinking about the time. It means you love it, and that's great.
Yeah.
Good job.
How did your college radio experience lead into professional radio?
It just really solidified the fact that I wanted to do it for a living. I mean, it's hard. I wanted to do news because this is what I do now, but coming out of college, it really wasn't the news. I went to college in the 80s. So, I mean, it wasn't the news opportunities that there were now. I ended up being a jock, a DJ on the air at a number of stations at the Shore, then in Philadelphia. Then I went to a station called WAAF in Boston, which actually just signed off. It was a 50-year-long run as one of the best rock stations in the country. And this was, getting to meet Aerosmith and Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue and stuff like that. It was like the best job ever. I did that for 4 or 5 years. And then around, 10 years actually out of college is when I finally got back into news because more news opportunities started to develop. But, and I've been at 1010 Wins for over 20 years now. So, but, it's like, I kind of think I had 2 lives. I had like the college radio and then this great rock and roll thing that I did for a while. And then I completely shifted into news and still have a real passion for music though, obviously. So
yeah, so I want to mention that you're kind of an exception to the rule in that many people who are part of college radio don't end up professionally on air in any capacity. How does that path look to get there, and how difficult is that to reach? And if someone doesn't even have the skills, let me rephrase that, doesn't have the career to get there,
right,
how can the skills in college radio help them just anyway?
And it's a great question. I'm so glad you brought it up because I had a little note here to myself to mention it. Most of the people that I went to Seton Hall with, I loved it at the time, didn't end up doing this for a career. They're record executives, or they're my roommate is a very successful attorney, for example. He left Seton Hall, he went to Rutgers Law, but he learned a skill like for public speaking and things like that, being on the radio. It gave him confidence to be in front of a judge, for example. And he was a very shy guy, but it transformed him into this, very dynamic. And, he learned writing. Just being on the radio gave him some confidence in terms of, public speaking, and it had nothing to. So he ended up in a career had nothing to do with radio or television or media. So, it'll give you that public speaking, that ability to put those nerves aside a little bit, knowing you're clicking the mic on and going on the air. It just gives you, whether you're a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, it just seems to really help.
Yeah. And how did your path to becoming a radio professional look? How did your time in college help you get there? And what did you have to do to even get to where you are now?
Internships was a big thing.
Internships.
Yeah,
I hear that all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Internships. I mean, and we're in the shadow of New York City, right? And networking, this is why I enjoy, being with you guys and the young people. You keep me energized, and, it's, I like trying to give back to the college students and get you guys in the door somewhere and kind of let you run with it. I mean, I can count 3 or 4 people in my career over, I'm almost 35 years doing radio. I mean, 3 or 4 people that really, if I didn't have them help me, I wouldn't be where I am now. So I enjoyed the meeting people, but the internships, I mean, when Z100 signed on in the 1980s, I was one of the first interns there.
Wow.
WNEW was a rock station back then. I never interned at a news station. It was all into the music and stuff, but Scott Shannon, who's on CBS FM now, I interned for him when he was at Z100. So internships, I mean, you really you get to be in the professional environment in New York City. I mean, the #1 market in the world, and it's so awesome.
I'm kind of curious about this music news, like the 2 different lives you said.
Yep.
Because how do you make a change from something that dramatic? And you said yourself that you didn't really have news internships. How'd you go from working in music to now having more of a career in news?
Yeah, way more a career, and what it really was again was that networking. I mean, I was at the rock and roll stuff for about 10 years, and I was at WAF in Boston, and then I had a morning show in California at a brand new station, and I was, I think, 30 years old, and the format flipped on a Friday afternoon. It turned to like classical music, and we all got fired.
Oh,
so this was and here I am in California. I'm single still. I'm like, what do I do? And just by chance, a guy that I knew from college was starting a radio network at CNBC, the business station. And he said, hey, I know you've never done business news, but I know you work hard. Why don't you come back? I came back to Fort Lee in Jersey, did that for 4 years, cut my hair that used to be like halfway down my back. They like, you got to cut your hair. I did that. And I never looked back. The CNBC opportunity, 3 or 4 years, and then it led me to Wins. I mean, so and to be honest, during my time at Wins, I still had dabbled in the music thing. I was on WDHA a couple times, just like a guest DJ. I still like having that music contact. I'm going to see Metallica in San Francisco in December. Nice. Just to keep those music contacts going. Yeah, so that was kind of like it forced me to make a decision. What do I do now? I got laid off from a place. I'm like, do I go into a different direction? And I was very lucky to have someone there to guide me into a new direction.
That's
lucky.
That's awesome.
It was lucky.
And
A lot of it was luck.
yeah, and a lot of it really, I'm sure, was experimenting. And college radio is a place to be very experimental because,
Yep.
after all, it's an educational environment. It's college. How's this experimentation help students? But I want to ask, at what point is it too much? Like, when's it too far?
Well, I mean, you guys are all very passionate there. I watch you and I kind of think of myself when I was your age. You're spending so much time there and you have so many ideas and energy, and you have a lot going on in your lives, right? And then to put on top of that, you guys have had to deal with a pandemic. I mean, so kudos to you guys for getting through this. I mean, we never had to deal with something like that. So you're dealing with pandemic and school and family and maybe boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, jobs. I mean, you got so much on your plate, right? I mean, so just got to keep it balanced, and try not to burn yourself out. But I always found too with the college scene, you either were into it or not. There were some people who were on my college station at Seton Hall that I could tell they were there to get it on their resume, but they really didn't want to be there, and it's like,
Yeah.
that kind of weeds itself out. The people who want to be there will rise to the top, and you know what? Just have fun, like you guys do. I mean, you're getting so much out of it. You have a great leader there with Annabella. She's a great mentor for you guys, and you're taking the ball and you're running with it.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about that community that's fostered when you're a part of college radio, and I've seen it with so many different people. And how do you think it helps people with their relationships with other people, even platonic, especially platonic?
I've seen transformation of people. I know it sounds corny. I've seen people come into college radio that had, by the time they left, their personality had changed, their approach to life had changed, their interaction with people had changed, just some confidence, more, their friends changed, everything. I mean, they like transformed, and college radio brings you that. I mean, I think it's such a great experience and so much fun. Going to, concerts or events, or you're doing sports for the station, or, things like that. There's just so many different ways that you can learn things. And to me, there's no other better experience than a college radio career. I just think you get so much out of it.
Yeah, and I'm one of those cases. I used to be afraid to talk to anybody and have so much anxiety about it, but being with this, I've noticed that it's helped me a lot with that fear. And for everybody who's kind of like stuck in their own shell and
Yep.
like I was afraid to say a word to anybody.
There
What
was
do
a
you have to
recent,
say?
I'm not going to name his name, but there's a recent station manager at WSOU at Seton Hall that came in and was, just completely like, I don't even know why I'm here. I'm a nervous wreck. Uh, my friend wants me to do this. I dread it. He became station manager years later, and has some wonderful professional opportunities now. And it's like, again, I saw like it just was amazing to watch his transformation in terms of his confidence and just kind of figuring out what he wanted to do. And college radio helped him do that. And he is staying in the industry doing some radio stuff, but it was fun to watch him go from I'm not sure, very nervous, to taking that energy and turning it into a lot of positive things.
Yeah. So what do you have to say to people who are kind of stuck in that shell and are thinking about college radio as something to help them?
What I always say too, and it's okay to be in your shell, right? I think it is. There's a lot of pressure
Yeah,
in the world, right? Like everyone has to
definitely
be
is.
out of their shell. It's okay. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
not everyone's going to be the most talkative, not everyone's, but I think if you surround yourself with a lot of people who have similar interests, and you kind of find your way, right? I mean, I think you do. If I played you some of my stuff from WSOU, it's like the worst thing ever. I mean, when I listen to you guys, how good you are in the air, I play my stuff back from my first newscast. It was like the worst thing ever.
Like you said,
But
we have a great leader.
you do, but it's like, I listen to it now. I'm like, oh God, I'm like, why did they even let me on the air? It was so bad. But I always say too to people that I don't know if you do that when you still go on the air. I still even now get that little butterfly in my stomach when I turn on the mic to go on,
A little bit.
right? And that means you're into it, right? It means you're excited. I always say to my daughter too, because she's 13, and she said, Dad, I get nervous sometimes. I said, nervous is not bad. It means you care, right? I mean, you have some. If you didn't have any pit in your stomach, it means you probably don't care. So you want to do a good job. You want to do the best you can, and you guys do. I mean, you're one of the. I'm so happy to be affiliated with you guys, and it's not just the awards that you win. You're setting example for other young people about how to make the most of the college radio experience, and you guys really do a good job with that.
Thank you. What do you think the importance of, we're talking about College Radio Day now. What do you think the importance of stations around the world coming together for World College Radio Day is? Like, how does that unity affect it? How do you think that's important?
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I didn't even realize at first when this first started. I mean, how many people are involved in this and the type of effort.
There's 670 stations this
I mean,
year.
that's unbelievable. I mean, especially now in the age that we're all so busy, right? Everyone, but this is such a unifying thing, and there's not much unity in the world anymore, right? So
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of divisiveness, but you guys are on the same page with the same energy, and you'll learn a lot from each other, and it's amazing. I mean, I didn't even know the number until you told me. I knew it was hundreds. I mean, that's incredible. Sure, and there's so many stories that people will have to talk about college radio, and it's just fantastic. And I hope it goes on for many years to go.
Yeah, I hope so too. What do you think about the getting people to see college radio? Because it's inevitable people are listening less and less to radio as it is, and college especially, because they typically don't have as much of a wider range, like WMSC, for example. We're only 1 watt. We don't get that far of a distance. How can we get more people to invest their time into college radio?
Well, I mean, you guys do a good job. When you do your morning buzz and you have it on YouTube and things like that, I have to say, and here I am. It sounds like I'm always just like patting you guys on the back, but it's true. I mean, there's not many stations that are doing that. I think they want to. But again, you have a great facility. You have great leadership there. You have students that come there and really have the support for it. And I'm sure there's other college stations around the country who would like to meet you. People hear about Jersey and New York, and it is. I mean, I think it's pretty cool living here, and we live in the media capital of the world. We have so many opportunities for things, and in terms of music or sports teams and all that stuff. We just live in a great place for that. So, yeah, I mean, you just, again, I'm coming back to the number of stations that are involved in this. I'm sure many of them would love to be in your studio, seeing it, checking it out.
Yeah.
Being there, seeing the facility at Montclair State is unreal. How good it is. So, it's a great time for you guys.
Yeah. And this is the big question.
Yep.
How do you think your life would be different if you hadn't done college radio?
Wow. Yeah.
It's the big one. I got to leave for last too.
No, that's a good question. You know what? My dad was a commercial real estate guy, pretty successful in northern New Jersey. I'd probably be in real estate. And you know what? I probably have made more money.
But would you
But
be as happy?
but here's the thing, and I'm going to leave you with this too, because I tell this all the time. My older brother and my younger brother are both doctors. Okay, and my parents would always say to me, "Wait a minute, we got a doctor to be, and you are going to be on the radio, right?" It drive my father nuts, you know, and my mom initially. But you know, when I got into college radio, my mom's like, "Well, maybe we got something here," and then they'd listen to me, and now obviously they're very proud of what I've done. Not only that I stuck to doing it, but that I've achieved a lot of what I wanted to achieve. So my message there is again to, you know, you'll see other people maybe doing things that are maybe financially more beneficial, whatever, but I have loved radio since I was like a teenager. So, you know, 40 years, whatever it's been that I'm doing it. I mean, I'm so glad I make that decision. Um, there were times that I almost got out of it, you know, because again, money does play a role. You know, relationships are impacted, all that kind of stuff. But I'm so glad and so lucky to still be doing it right now. And I wouldn't have without college radio. I mean, definitely not.
Yeah. Thank you, Glenn, so much again for sitting down with me. I thought this was great, and I'm looking forward to College Radio Day just as much as you are and everybody else is. It's really going to be a huge day, and your contribution to that, it's evident.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And keep up your good work, everybody. And happy College Radio Day to everybody. It's a day to celebrate for sure.
All right. Thank you, Glenn. And now right back to the show with Isaiah and Crystal.
Oh snap. How do I stop recording or stop? Okay, we are back. College Radio Day, World College Radio Day is on the horizon, and it's going to be exciting. That was Glenn Schuck, interviewed by Kenny Horn here on the Morning Buzz. And we are back, the real crew on Wednesdays. We don't even have Kenny in the office anymore because we feel like we don't need him. But we have some more stories to talk about, some entertaining stuff, maybe some fun stuff or depressing stuff. We got it all here on the Morning Buzz, and we are going to talk about Law and Order as it's coming back on NBC for its 21st season. The network has announced that it's bringing the police drama back for a 21st season when the show left airwaves May in 2020. It was tied with the show Gunsmoke for the longest running prime-time television drama. NBC says the series will keep the split format of focusing on police officers investigating crime and the prosecutors who take the cases to court. No cast or premiere date have been announced. The Law and Order franchise lives on even after the original series was canceled through several spin-offs like Law and Order SVU, which is my mom and my sister's like favorite show ever. And meantime, the creator of Law and Order, Dick Wolf, has been up to other series shows with his trio of Chicago type shows. There's Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and I don't really know what the other Chicago show is, but it's something in Chicago. Oh, MD, I think. It's like a medical show. Something like that. Pretty much it's just Law and Order, but based in Chicago. You're not really missing out on too much. But are you guys Law and Order people? Fans? No?
I could never get into it. It's just too much.
Mm.
It's like what's that show?
CSI?
CSI, that's it.
Or NCIS?
Both of them. It was just too much. I looked at it, I was like, the characters look cool. Can't do it.
I feel you on that.
Really? First of all, I just had to Google what Law and Order and NBC bringing it back because I was confused. Because
Oh,
I absolutely 1000% love Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
mm.
Like I love it. I love it. So I was like, what is it? I was confused. But apparently it's like what a spin-off or like a
No, it's the original one. So before SUV
Oh.
or SVU. SUV? No, SVU. I always get it confused. I'm like, yeah, I know one is a car and one is a show.
That's funny.
But there was an original series just called Law and Order, and then that was the spinoff, the one you're watching.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love the spinoff, and I guess the original that they're bringing back. I don't know. Isn't there one that's called Law and Order? I think Criminal Minds or something.
I think that one is ended now too, no? Or is it still going?
I've never watched it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Something about SVU. They just have me by the
It
throat.
just hits all the right
Yeah,
notes,
I
you know?
absolutely love that show. I literally watched one of the or the latest episode on Hulu yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Oh, so you're like a avid watcher then? Like you
Yeah,
watch all the newest episodes and all that?
absolutely. I
Okay.
get so frustrated when there's not a next episode, and like I want to know what's the next episode. I will say though, it's one of my favorites, and I've been watching it. I literally started season 1, episode 1, and it's been a long journey, but I'm here.
It's been a long journey. Hey, Ice-T's been on that show for quite some time, right?
Yeah, I like
Since
him.
like day one.
He's cool.
Yeah,
the
there's
show.
the bald guy. Stabler, is that his name in the show?
Boy, this is how you know you don't actually watch SVU.
It's
because
no, I don't. I don't claim I ever did.
Okay. Oh my god. Here we go.
Here we go,
Aiden,
Mr. Attitude Isaiah.
talking about being defensive.
Oh, he's such a sensitive piece of garbo. Guys, as much as we'd like to talk about Law and Order, we are going to go into a quick break, and we'll be right back with hour 2 of the Morning Buzz here on WMSC Upper Montclair. It's Aiden, it's Crystal, it's Isaiah, and we even have an ADJ in the house. Maybe he'll talk today, maybe not. We'll see.
I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, a family like yours.
Learn more about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Looking for the real MSU Red Hawks experience all year long? Look no further. WMSC has all your Red Hawks information, ranging from live play-by-plays, news updates, recaps, and more. Never miss out on the Red Hawks with 90.3 WMSC. Let's go, Red Hawks.
I know Black Colin and Prince. Oh, him?
I know. No, not Black.
Oh, not Black Colin?
No.
Got it.
I think it's funny that we both.
90.3
I've never met a
WMSC.
Colin like
Upper
Black.
Montclair.
This is Charles Osgood. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair, New Jersey, the voice of Montclair State.
Okay, we are back here on the Morning Buzz. It's once again Isaiah, Crystal, and Aiden, and this time we have the debut, the one and only ADJ himself in the training. We have Pringles Cullen.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, come on. No energy at all, Cullen.
Right.
Hello, everybody.
There
Turn
we
his
go,
mic off.
my man. So guys, we're gonna go right into a newscast from Aiden. Do you have it ready, Aiden?
I do.
All right, give us the news. Tell us what's up.
All right. In international news this morning, North Korea performed missile tests just hours before South Korea's submarine reveal, claiming to have their first hypersonic rocket. They still claim to have hopes for the peace summit with South Korea later this year. In America, trees can lower temperatures by a max of 10 degrees, but a study published last year by the U.S. Forest Service found that we lose 36 million trees annually from urban and rural communities over a 5-year period. If we continue on this path, cities will become warmer and more polluted and generally more unhealthy for inhabitants. In New Jersey, we have surpassed 1 million cases of COVID-19, with 1,857 new positive tests and 37 deaths. All 21 counties have reported high rates of transmission, and the U.S. itself has reported the most cases at 43 million. In Montclair, today there are ice cream sandwiches in the Student Center from 12 to 2 and an office trivia night tonight at 8 p.m. in room 126 of the Student Center. It's going to be cloudy today with a high of 87.
That has been the news presented to you by the one and only Aidan. Aidan Ping, who is generations ago removed from being Asian. How does it feel, Aidan?
Very whitewashed.
Very whitewashed.
Oh my goodness.
So normally we would move into a sports cast, but Tommy is not here today. He's actually on a vacation. I don't know where he wanted to hide those details from me, but Tommy, if you're listening, shout out to you. He's on a little vacation or something to visit family. Yeah,
must be nice.
I know.
He got money.
He got that money. But guys, instead of a sports cast, because I could do a sports cast and do that, but I feel like that would just be wrong without Tommy writing it for me and then me having to say it on air.
Says the one who always wants to take Tommy's
Exactly.
spotlight.
That's what I mean. I only do it when he writes it so I could take his credit. I'm kidding. But instead, I figured I did this earlier in the show where we talked about, or really just me, because we had to do some other things, but it was Netflix's most popular TV shows in the first hour, according to like how many hours were viewed while watching. But now we're going to go into Netflix's most popular movies by total view hours in the first 28 days. So we're gonna read through this list. At number 1 is Bird Box with 282 million hours. Did you guys see Bird Box at all?
I did, and I thought it was overrated.
Yeah, I would agree. I didn't think it was as great as everyone said it was.
I think it was very mediocre.
Crystal, did you see Bird Box by chance?
Next question.
Next, okay. Number 2, a movie called Extraction, which I've never heard of, but it has 231 million hours, followed by The Irishman. I had never watched it. Is that the really long one?
Yeah, I think it's
I
about
just
3.5 hours.
I can't commit to that. Just like the what is it? The new DC movie,
Yeah,
the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
I couldn't commit to watching that either. I'd have to spread it out over like 6 days. Number 4, The Kissing Booth 2. I didn't know there was a Kissing Booth 1. Number 5 is Six Underground, followed by Spencer Confidential at number 6, Enola Holmes at number 7, Army of the Dead at number 8. Did you guys see Army of the Dead?
I did not.
Oh, that's a fun zombie movie. I
That was
felt.
good.
Yeah, I would recommend that one. I enjoyed it. It's got Dave Bautista. I don't know who that is, but
it was Zack Snyder.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Was Army of the Dead the one where they go to like Vegas?
Yep.
Yeah,
That
never
one.
mind, never mind.
He's actually a pretty good actor, I think.
Yeah.
I like him.
He had a lot of emotional depth. It was
And
surprising.
it's unusual considering that a lot of the pro wrestlers that transition to acting, like The Rock, I mean, he just plays the same character pretty much in all the movies. It's cool,
Yeah.
but there's not much of range. He's
I was
just
gonna say,
action
it
hero.
is good to see somebody with a lot of range like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Great story. I would recommend you guys check that out. That's just my opinion though. Number 9 is The Old Guard. No clue what that is. And number 10, Murder Mystery, which I think is that the Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah, that's the one
Got
on the
it.
boat. The Old Guard was good, yo. if
What
you're
was that
looking for a
about?
show. It's about these like 7 immortal like warriors with like magic powers. It's really goofy, so you kind of have to have that like suspension of disbelief. But once you get into it, it is good. Like the plot's good, the characters are good.
Okay.
It's just fun to watch.
Before we go into our next story, which is more Netflix stuff, do you guys have any show or movies you recently watched that are very good on Netflix you want to talk about?
I mean, now that Squid Game's rising in popularity, I have to recommend, in my own opinion.
Wait, we're gonna talk about Squid Game in like 2 seconds.
Oh, can I
Hold
do
your
the
thoughts.
recommendations?
Yeah.
Train to Busan.
Train to
Never watched
Busan
Train to
is a
Busan
great
is
movie.
fantastic.
Crystal, you should watch Train to Busan.
Can you all just compile this for me and send it to me? Because
Got
all
it.
these shows that Isaiah's just read, I have never watched them. But I just want to say, I do not want a scary movie. I am more of a no. I want comedy. I want romance, and I want romance. Thank you.
Okay,
If it's
so
not
maybe
that, don't
maybe
send it to
not
me.
Train to Busan then.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
it's
that
not.
that's like a that one just kind of rips your heart out a little
Yeah.
bit.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
my God,
very emotional
no.
movie towards
It's
the
got
end.
a little bit of romance in it,
No,
and then it's
I'm a-
gone.
Yeah,
I'm a,
everything's just taken away.
I'm a crier, so no, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
You would not last.
No.
there's this other movie
Really?
on
Now I want to watch
Hulu.
it.
What is it? Among the Gods on Hulu? Another Korean film. So good. And also a very similar aspect where it's just like you're enjoying the journey and then all of a sudden, your heart is just crushed. But yeah, a lot of Korean films seem to have that tendency to just ruin your day emotionally. But speaking of the wonderful world of South Korea, they have just released Squid Game on Netflix, and that is where our next story is heading. Squid Game hits milestone for Korean original series as it aims for Netflix's viewership record books. The violent survival drama premiered September 17th on Netflix and has been rising in popularity every day. The show has reached number 1 in 90 countries in 10 days, from Qatar and Oman to Ecuador and Bolivia. Squid Game entered the US top 10 list September 19th at number 8, and it quickly climbed to number 2 the next day and hit number 1 on September 21st, the first Korean original series ever to do so, where it has stayed since, crossing the 1-week mark today. Lupin, which is earlier this year, was a French series that became number 1 in the US, is currently tied as Netflix's second most watched original series, with 76 million households who has watched at least 2 minutes within the show's first 4 weeks of release. Squid Game is on track to surpass that and become the biggest non-English language Netflix series. Squid Game is also benefiting from the rising popularity and acceptance of non-English language content among US viewers. Since 2019, non-English language viewing in the US has grown by 71%, and 97% of Netflix's US members have chosen to watch at least one non-English language title in the past year. The ramp up is even more dramatic for K-dramas, whose US viewership has jumped over 200% between 2019 and 2021. Whew, a lot of numbers in there. A little too early for all those percentages for my taste.
Literally, all these numbers and not a single description of what Squid Game is.
I'm gonna tell you what Squid Game is because I know it was very brief in the beginning. So it is a concept where people are in debt, like a large amount of debt, and like they find these people and tell them to join this game pretty much. And they set it up to where if they participate and win in this game, they get a prize, which is money. But the twist is that the games are all Korean kid games, but the extreme twist now is that there's death involved. So it's like playing all these games, like the extreme possibility. So this isn't, I'm going to get into a small spoiler. It doesn't really reveal anything, but there's the first game is red light, green light. So have you guys played that before? I'm assuming as a kid.
Yeah.
Crystal, no? Okay. So it's a game where if green light is on, you run to the end of the corner pretty much. It's red light, you stop moving. So in that game, when it's green light, you run to the finish line. When it's red light, if you are moving, they kill you. And that's how it works. That's like the intense twist that happens. And that is a brief explanation of what Squid Game is without revealing too much information, because I know it's still like a week old, so I don't want to go into super spoiler territory. But yeah, I really love the show. There's many parts where you feel an emotional attachment for some reason to some of these characters, and you're like, no, I can't be happening right now. And then they have like this perfect storm of emotion, and to me, they just wasted it in the last episode, which is very disappointing because it was doing such a great job of, I felt, pacing. Of it's certain moments are intense, and then certain moments are like comedic reliefs. You could breathe a little bit, then it ramps up with intensity, and then it was just, what are we doing here in the last episode? I know Aidan has finished it as well.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? What do you think?
I would agree. Yeah, I believe the whole show was paced perfectly, but I feel like the ending just didn't hit the mark. I feel like they were too worried about setting up a potential sequel rather than giving us the ending that the whole show was leading to. It felt very out of character for the things to happen at the end. Now, can I ask a question for you guys?
Yeah.
Would you guys do that? Would you compete at the risk of death to be set up for life with a very very
no
large
way.
amount?
No.
Life's a little too important
I think-
compared to money.
But what if you were in their position? Like if you were
If
that
I was in
far
debt?
like if you were like millions of dollars in debt, you didn't have much, would you still value your life over like saving?
I would have to,
financial?
man.
Yeah, I think
There's no way I could ever participate in that, because not only are you like you losing your life, but the people around you are also losing you as well. And yeah, I just don't think I'd ever be able to put myself in a situation actively knowing that I could die. You know what I mean?
I think honestly, I think I disagree. Like
you would do
I,
it, Aidan?
I was watching the show and I was like seeing how much these guys were like suffering in their lives, and I was like, you know, if my student debt ever gets that bad, I understand. Like I do it.
You might be a couple years away from that happening, Aidan. That's a crazy show, man. I will say another non-spoiler thing, but so there's this game, right? It's intense, debt's on the line, but there's two characters where they're actually married. So it's a wife and a husband, and they are going through this game together. And I will say at some point, just if you watch the show, when it gets to the game of marbles, get a pack of tissues and a blanket, because it's going to be a wild ride.
I don't know. You see, I feel like, first of all, you are not selling the show. Either of you are not selling the show.
It is so
Number
good.
one. But number two, see, I don't feel that passion that it's so good and I need to stop.
Okay,
what
but
I'm
here's the
doing
thing. It was so good. And
Oh,
had it been
okay.
executed in the last episode, like Aidan said, it felt too much as if they were sitting for a sequel instead of just concluding the story. So had they just ended the story and it was like a limited series, it would have been amazing. And I would have been like, you have to watch it. I'm obsessed. But the fact that it went what could have been like a perfect 10 to like an 8 or a 9. Like I would still say watch it, but I wouldn't say have your expectations as like the greatest show ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
So
one.
watch it as background noise.
No, well, do you know Korean?
No.
So then I probably wouldn't watch it as background noise.
Oh, it
Yeah.
has subtitles.
It's subtitles.
You
You
cannot
can
watch
watch
it
it English,
Oh, but it's so
but
gross.
that's weird. If you watch English dubs of anything, I feel like it's just
Oh.
odd.
You see, I always turn on my subtitles whenever I'm watching whatever it is I'm watching,
Mhm.
but I don't like watching movies in a different
What?
language and I don't understand them because I feel
No.
like it. First of all,
You're missing out on so
the subtitles
much.
sometimes don't even pick up on what exactly the person is saying, and I can confidently say that because I've seen them trying to translate a Spanish movie into English, and it's like, what
Well,
are
you
you
don't
even
need
saying?
perfect translations, you
Well,
know?
then
That's
I'm not
fair.
even enjoying. Why would I
No,
enjoy
that's-
it? I'm not gonna enjoy it.
That's
I'm
fair,
still gonna
but-
watch it because now I feel like I have to
Watch it.
Watch it.
because I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about this next week. Maybe I'll start it
Mhm.
over the weekend and see if
It's
I
a
like
good
it or not.
show.
I promise by the end of the first episode, you're gonna be hooked.
Yeah. If
Like,
you start it,
there's-
you're gonna have to
I'm gonna
finish
let
it.
you know if I'm really hooked.
Like,
'Cause
you
I
have
think-
to, it's just like the countdown of
Yeah.
characters in it that you like have to know what happens next.
You
It's
you
so
just
good.
suddenly like rip off 7 episodes in a row, and then you're like, I only have 2 episodes left.
That was an
Um,
awful night watching all this.
Yeah. It's definitely something you could watch in a day. So
Colin, have you watched this?
I have not, but I do want to now.
watch
you
it,
really?
Colin.
You think they sold it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. Like
Hey, we sold it
agree.
for Colin,
Like
guys.
a little bit.
but it makes sense. If you didn't like the ending, that's happened to me where
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's so good
Mhm.
and it's like what just happened. So I get it. I get why the emotion is not there, but you know,
Yeah.
you can understand why I was like, oh, what is they seem like it's not a good show. So why would I watch
It's
it?
like Game of Thrones.
That's
I've ever-
fair.
I never
Yeah,
watched
I
it.
would compare. I didn't watch it, but I feel like it's a similar sentiment where it's
Yeah.
like the journey was so great, and it's just that ending kind of ruins the whole.
Falls flat.
Yeah,
Payoff.
it's rough. Before we go into our next story, I will say another show that I recently finished. Oh my god, it ruined me, man. Have you guys seen Money Heist at all?
Yeah.
Have you seen Money Heist?
I started watching it and I couldn't
Just-
get into it.
Are you kidding me? Okay, how could you start watching Money Heist and look into Tokyo's eyes and not finish the show?
I don't even know who
Oh,
Tokyo is.
she's so
there's-
beautiful. Oh,
And now I have to Google it. I want to see. Let me see if I
that
agree
is
with you.
probably tied for my celebrity crush. I know we had this conversation a couple weeks ago, but oh, perfect. But yeah, I finished watching that. Aiden, you finished watching it?
I actually haven't. I got to the
Ugh,
point where I'm
I
gonna
can't say
cliffhanger right
anything.
now. I got to the point where the one girl gets like betrayed and like wheeled out, and I gotta finish it.
Oh gosh.
I know.
Oh no.
Because I had to
I
take a
can't even
break.
talk about anything now.
Wait,
I'm
what
so
happened? What you
sorry.
guys did?
Huh?
You nothing?
I left off on a point where like a character gets wheeled out on like she gets used as a hostage,
Mhm.
and now I'm scared because Isaiah's reaction to that.
Ugh. It just things escalate, Aiden,
Oh,
as you would expect in that show. As once when you think everything's going good, something goes bad, which happens in Heist apparently. But
He's just a
before we
parasite.
move on to our next story, we are gonna have to take a break at some point, and we're gonna play a song. Perhaps you guys have any predictions on what song I'm gonna play?
Yes, can it be a good one?
Jingle Bell Rock.
Oh yes,
yeah?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
All right.
yes, yes.
Keep talking
Yes, yes, yes. I absolutely love Christmas music. And you know how there's been those social media posts where they say like, "Oh, you have to wait until after Thanksgiving to start listening to
No, I
Christmas
disagree.
music and do Christmas stuff." Boy, let me tell you, I listen to Christmas music in the summer because that's how good the music is. And I
Mariah-
don't care what anybody says. I will still do it because it makes me happy.
Mariah Carey is in my workout playlist.
Is she really?
I will be pumping weight for all I want for Christmas is you all the time.
I
I'll
think
play it on
that's
repeat.
That is the greatest thing Aiden has ever said. on
yes,
this
that is
show.
the funniest thing ever. Colin, what do you work out to? Name a song. One song.
Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You.
You're such a
Ah, what a
liar.
cop out.
Such
We
a
expect an
liar.
answer when we come back.
got
What
it.
your
Yeah.
workout song is. Guys, this is the Morning Buzz on WMSC Upper Montclair, and this is gonna be Jingle Bells.
He's gonna be like, I don't even work out.
90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair.
Okay, guys, that was a little holiday preview of the Christmas season. Oh, I just love Christmas. Halloween is a mid-holiday. It's not even. Oh, I hate Halloween. Tarashi, stupid candy, kids in costumes knocking on my door. You disgust me. Do you guys like Halloween?
Sorry, I don't celebrate Halloween. I do Dia de los Muertos. And for those who don't know,
shout
it's
out to
Day
Mexico,
of
man.
the Dead. We do like a whole bunch of things. We
Just watch Coco. They'll explain it for you.
That's funny, but yes, watch Coco.
Great movie. Before we move on to our next story, which is technology related, do you guys have anything to tell the viewers about Avatar? Anything you want to add on while we had that conversation during break?
If you haven't watched it, in my opinion, you should.
Yeah, it's
very,
definitely,
very good.
It's definitely like an essential show.
It is. I think, is that considered an anime?
It's
anime style,
Yeah.
but it's not
an anime.
technically an anime because
Got
it's it was made in the United States.
It's for an anime to be an anime, it has to be made.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if that's true. Don't quote me on that, but I think
Aidan, you
it
should
just
know, right?
It's like the online discourse about it. Like you'll be looking at people online, and I don't really care. Like I'll watch for that. Like if someone looks good, like I watched Attack on Titan because my friend was like, "Watch it." I was like, "Sure." I don't really care if you want to call it something because you like it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But if you bring it up online, be prepared for all those like gatekeeping,
Yeah.
not friendly people to be like, "It's not an anime. It was made in America.
It's
Okay,
not
it's
anime,
impossible."
man. There's this one little video before we go on to the next story. It was like this little kid. He was doing like this weird, I don't know what he was doing, but he was just saying like anything is possible with the power of God and anime on my side.
Yep.
That video just lives in my head. But our next story is Nintendo related for all you Nintendo fans out there. Super Nintendo World theme park expands with Donkey Kong area in 2024. Universal Studios Super Nintendo World theme park in Japan is expanding in 2024 with the opening of a new Donkey Kong themed area. Nintendo said in a news release, the Donkey Kong area will feature a roller coaster, unspecified interactive experience, and themed merchandise and food. What are they going to sell? Bananas? Nintendo and Universal Studios said that the Donkey Kong expansion will increase Super Nintendo World's footprint by about 70%. Mr. Miyamoto, creator of Donkey Kong and Super Mario, is aiding the development of the new area with Universal and Nintendo's respective creative teams. Universal Studio Japan and Super Nintendo World opened in March 2021 after a series of delays. The Osaka-based theme park The Super Mario themed area features 2 rides, an augmented reality Mario Kart themed experience. Dude, that sounds sick. And Yoshi's Adventures, and a more casual kid-friendly tours of the Mushroom Kingdom. Versions of Super Nintendo World are all in the Universal Studios Hollywood and Orlando theme parks. The version of Super Nintendo World in Orlando is reportedly planned to open in early 2025 at the park's Epic Universe area. Are you guys interested in Nintendo at all?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Crystal, you're a huge Nintendo fan?
I used to love Nintendos when I
Really?
was little. Yes, I have an older brother, and as any good older brother, he would, you always want to spend time with your sibling, and we it was so cute. One time we went to Toys R Us when that was still a thing, and we got like these matching Nintendo pouches, and I got a red one, he got a blue one, and it was just one of those moments that it was just so cute, and it's one of those things that you'll never forget, and it was so silly and it's so simple, but it was just it's cute because we got to buy pouches for our Nintendos, and it was good.
So nice.
Yeah.
Warms my heart.
Yes.
It's the holiday season, guys.
Oh, but here we go.
So you guys are Nintendo fans, Aiden as well, and Colin.
Yeah.
Does this spark any interest for you?
Yeah, have you seen the videos of the actual theme park?
No, I
It's
haven't.
Incredible.
Really?
It looks like the video game.
I really want to know what that like augmented reality Mario Kart is.
Yeah.
That seems like fun because Mario Kart itself is already just an experience. But
Absolutely.
actually doing Mario Kart.
Yeah, no, I've seen like the actual carts that drive around the park.
So
yeah.
it's literally just a game of Mario Kart people are playing.
More or less. Yeah.
Wow.
I love Mario, Luigi.
If I get blue shelled in real life, though, someone's getting hit.
Yeah,
like,
dude, for
that's
real.
just how that's the be.
Yeah, I'm getting out of the cart immediately and GTA style beating down.
Yeah, someone's getting pulled out of the Mario Kart.
It's like, what in the world? That is
Wait,
the
where
worst
is this
feeling.
located?
This theme park is in Japan, but then they're bringing it to Orlando.
So when are we going to Japan? Morning bus trip.
Morning buzz takeover of Japan.
How
can
dope
blog
would
it.
that be?
Oh, we
That'd
could
be
get a
fun.
shirt that says like what is everything's got like an X in it, so it's WMSC X Nintendo. No,
Yeah,
Yeah.
get it going, guys.
do a collab.
Let's do a GoFundMe.
Have them sponsor us.
Dude, sponsored by Nintendo? That'd be sick.
Wait,
That would
first
be
of
so
all,
cool.
Colin, I know you said there was pictures, but the pictures that I'm seeing right now is not doing it for me.
You're not
Hmm.
feeling it?
I
Hold on.
don't.
Here, scroll
So
back up.
are you really a Nintendo fan then,
I am, but it has to be good. Again, my money's worth.
Uh-huh.
Which one?
The third one.
Well, I'm super excited. I'm also
Are these
interested
real?
Yeah,
to
that's the
see
theme park.
what
Oh, that's
the Donkey
that's
Kong
kinda
area
lit.
would look like as well.
Oh, I forgot. They've got all the Attack on Titan and like Gundam stuff too. It's
Yeah.
Oh,
wild.
that's lit. So
Are you
who's
guys
taking
theme
me?
parks people?
Yeah.
No.
No,
Not
I'm not
really.
a theme park person either.
Okay, what are theme parks? I like what is this? What it says in the name? Like it's like a park with a
It's
theme.
like Six Flags, right?
More or
Yeah, like
less.
Six
It's
Flags,
okay. Is
Disney,
Six Flags a
Universal.
theme park?
Yeah.
Or
I'd
is
say
it?
so.
I feel like there's another term for Six
Well,
Flags.
Would Six Flags just be considered an amusement park?
An
An
amusement park.
Colin
There it
jumping
is.
the
All
jokes over
right.
here.
So I think I would like a theme park, not amusement parks, because
Mm.
roller coasters scare me, man.
Really?
Yeah,
I love
I ain't getting on no
roller
roller
coasters.
coaster. That thing, ooh, it's so high in the air. No way. I'm gonna stay on the floor, eat a churro.
I'm not even gonna hold you,
There you go.
Isaias. I'm
See?
a wuss. I'm a wuss when it comes to rides. I
Exactly.
don't like them.
No way.
They give me anxiety. But as a brave, young, independent woman that I am, I got on the King the Car
Oh my
for the first time
Lord.
ever over the
So
summer.
fun.
And when I tell you,
Oh.
my soul left my body, it left my body, and I was like,
Ew.
it was, but everything was so quick, But the first, it was the beginning for me when they
way.
like shoot you to go up. It's
so fun.
and it's like the
Ugh.
countdown. It's just everything just makes me
No.
my anxiety. It's
You
just
can never catch me on that ride.
No way.
really.
Absolutely.
Colin
You have
gets it.
to. You
Zero
have to
chance.
at least
I
once
will
in your
never.
life.
Never.
At least once in your life.
Someone would have to drug me
It's
and then put
30
me on the
seconds.
ride.
30, not even like 15 seconds. You don't even
So
feel
fun.
it.
No.
I
Really?
no, I don't
No.
like.
I could do something better in 15 seconds. That will. No, thank you.
I'm
No,
s-
thank you. I don't
How
want
about you,
that.
Aiden?
I'm such like an adrenaline junkie. I will go on like every ride
Really?
at Six Flags,
Ugh.
every ride. Like honestly,
That makes sense though with the amount of
it's so
monsters you drink.
fun. Yeah, it's wild. Like especially like not even that, but like when they have like the fright nights for like I gotta go on like the hardest one because I need like that like
Ugh.
adrenaline rush.
I've gone to Fright Fest. It's alright.
It's but like
It's alright.
it's like
It's
honestly after like the first year, like it lost its charm.
Yeah, I
alright.
don't know what it was, but I went once just to see what it was. Because first of all, I don't like amusement parks. I don't. The only reason why I would go if it's A, someone's paying for me, or B, I'm going with my friends. Like I have two friends who love, like my two closest friends, they love getting on roller coasters and stuff. I hate them, so every single time I go with them, like I have to take them for the team and actually get on all these rides that I do not like. But yes, again, if you're not paying for me or it's with my two friends, I'm not going.
That's fair.
I said what I said.
Well, before we go to our break,
Everybody was
guys,
like, "Yo, no one's gonna pay for you."
before we go into our break, we're gonna circle back to Nintendo for a second. Did you guys hear about the Super Mario movie coming out?
Chris Pratt.
Yes. I
What a
did.
weird cast of people. No,
I saw a tweet that said for the cast it looked like somebody just Googled actors.
For
and
that
looked at
makes no
everybody that they
sense.
saw.
that bestly describes that. What is it? Keegan Michael Key's playing Toad. Like that is the most. I don't know what Toad would sound like had he been in a movie, but I would never expect Keegan Michael Key. No,
But like Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, I
that's
can't wait.
makes
That is so
wild.
fun.
I'm excited for Jack Black as Bowser.
Right?
I think
And,
I think that's
Yeah.
the best casting.
And okay, here's the thing. Okay, Jack Black as Bowser, I feel like he's gonna change his voice to like
Yeah.
be like a voice actor. Anytime Seth Rogen has done like voice acting, he's just Seth Rogen talking.
It's like, hey guys, it's me, Donkey Kong.
That's actually not a bad Seth Rogen. What the what?
Thanks.
Pretty good. Hey guys, we have Seth Rogen on the show today. He's going to be talking more after we go on a break. This is the Morning Buzz on WMSC Upper Montclair. We're also on Facebook Live. Can you believe it? I still can't believe I got it to work. And we're available on all podcast streaming platforms. We're going to be back here in a couple seconds. We are back here on the Morning Buzz. It is the Wednesday edition. As you probably already knew already, we've talked about so many things. We had an interview with Glenn Shuck, but now when it gets to 8:30 around this time of the day, things get a little weird here on the Morning Buzz as we just talk about anything and everything. First story, Crystal, we got some squirrels going crazy in the world of Fargo. What's going on?
Squirrel stores thousands of nuts inside a man's parked truck. For this story, we travel all the way to Fargo, North Dakota, where the weather is cold and the only thing interesting in North Dakota's state football team. A man in Fargo has broken the internet in North Dakota as he discovered a squirrel has been getting ready for the winter in his car. A local squirrel has picked Bill Fisher's Chevy Avalanche as the winter storage hideout for hundreds of these nuts, each about the size of a small lemon. Fisher has cleaned out around 42 gallons of black walnuts from his truck. These walnuts have been found everywhere in his car, including his engine, fenders, and anywhere small enough to fit a walnut. Bill Fisher has this to say. He said, quote, I had to pull the fenders off and clean all the walnuts out. And I thought I had them all, and it took it down the road, turned the corner, and found one rolling inside the windshield where the wipers go, said Fisher. It is one red squirrel doing this, going into the pickup, he said. How funny is that? He said, it's my car now.
For real. And when you're looking at the pictures of this truck, there's so many walnuts in this man's car.
They don't even look like walnuts, to be honest.
Right?
Yeah, they look like lemons. That's
Well,
so funny.
I just don't understand. I wonder why the squirrel would choose a car to store things like that.
Can you imagine how heartbreaking that must have been for the squirrel, though? The
For
squirrel
Right?
real.
He's like,
Yes.
my amazing winter storage. I have so much. I'm never going to
Yes.
go hungry again. And then
Yes.
he pulls up and it's gone.
It's like,
I was
come on.
literally thinking that of how, like, yes, this is funny and it's ha ha ha, but now the winter is gonna roll around, or it's already rolling, and
It's
it's
a
not
wrap
going.
for him,
Yeah,
man.
like I
There's
don't
no
think that
way.
squirrel's gonna make it,
He's
and I
not.
doubt another squirrel's going to share. Like, hey, have some of my nuts,
Squirrels out of luck. This is like the plot of a Disney movie.
right? It's kind of it's funny. It's like, wow.
When I heard this story, I imagined the guy opening his car door and just
That's what I thought so
Yes,
too.
yes. That's exactly what I thought.
We had a similar story of that kind of nature on the Buzz in the summer. It was this guy had his car and he went to open the door and there was just a bear sleeping like in his car.
Oh.
And he was like, what in the world? So then he had to like leave the door open for it to eventually leave. But my question is, how did the bear get inside of the car? He literally had to open the door, go in, and close the door. So I don't know. That bear is pretty suspect. I'm thinking he's hiding something.
Maybe he left the door open.
Maybe it's not a real bear. Maybe he's a furry. Those are weird people.
Questions remained
Questions and
unanswered. But circling back to the squirrels, I wonder what city squirrels do. Like, where do they store their stuff?
Yo, for real.
That is a good. I feel like they just
That's a
survive off
hard-hitting
scraps, though.
question.
I feel like they just jump other squirrels.
You think it's forever? It's like the Hunger Games for squirrels.
Yeah.
Wait, do squirrels migrate once the temperature starts to drop, or no?
No, they just hibernate. No?
Oh, they hibernate.
Yeah.
Do squirrels hibernate?
I thought so. That's why they gather all the nuts.
I think Colin said they do, but I think he gave me wrong information.
Sandy did in SpongeBob.
If SpongeBob did it,
Wow.
it's gotta be right.
Is that what you're using as a reference?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna Google it.
Right. I can't even trust Colin anymore. Cannot trust him. He is not to be trusted because he said squirrels hibernate, and I don't think Google's about to tell me this.
Ground squirrels hibernate during the
squirrels
winter,
migrated. I don't think they do.
but tree squirrels do not hibernate.
No, and then I asked if
Tree
they're
squirrels, they feel like
Yeah. So it looks like some kinds of squirrels do, but not all of them. Who would have thought?
back during quarantine. I remember my neighbor, a squirrel, like, because no one was using their cars, especially during like the winter part. These squirrels like chewed through like his trunk, like, the
It's
wires
funny.
in it, and he got into it, and the car wouldn't start.
No.
The engine was gone.
Brutal.
It was rough.
rough times out here. Don't
For
leave.
real.
Now you have to have like a whole garage.
These
so you can
squirrels
just
are savages, man.
Park your car inside.
What if you can't afford a garage, Crystal?
Well,
What if you live in an apartment complex? Everyone's parked outside.
then you shouldn't have a car, because then you are living in a very populated city,
Yeah.
and there's public transportation.
Does anyone want my Honda Civic? Now that I should not have a car. It's
First-
2005, over 100,000 miles. And you get free parking for today because I already paid for it.
Oh,
So
awesome.
you're welcome.
Wait, Isaiah, did you get a ticket last week?
Oh, yes. Okay, guys.
I forgot to ask you.
Last week, before we go on to our next story, I had parked my car in car park here at Montclair. Did not pay for parking. Went about, what was it, like 6-8 hours. And then it finally clicked. I don't think I paid for parking today. And I didn't. Eventually talked with Crystal before heading off to the car park. Got there, and at first I was like, wow, there's no ticket. And then I looked at like the hood of my car. There was a ticket.
You got a ticket?
Yeah.
No, you
50
didn't.
piece. Yeah.
Oh wow, I am so mad
For
for you.
real.
You got a ticket.
Yeah. $50.
Damn, I
Yeah.
know you're mad.
I was so
I know you're mad.
And the thing is, it was my fault because I didn't pay for parking. But it just like, you know what makes it worse is that it's like normally students driving those cars and having like tickets for people.
Yeah.
So it's like my own people are attacking me.
Yes,
Like,
your own
that's-
people
that's
don't
the
even
worst
like
part.
you.
We should
That's
all
the
be
worst part
together
about
on this.
We're all in this together.
No.
I'm
Well,
upset
apparently
with
not.
you.
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
They hate my soul.
Wow, Isaiah is so mad.
I was heartbroken. I was
He
like,
got
this.
a ticket.
Uh,
Damn. First of all, I googled what a Honda Civic is, and at first I was like, "Oh my god, so pretty." And then
then
I
you
put,
looked at 2005.
and then I looked. Oh my god, I put 2015,
Oh no.
and I was like, "This is ugly." And now let's go.
Wow.
Now let's Google 2005. Oh my god, Isaiah, what are you doing with your life?
So, you know, the Honda Civic was a very cheap option. Hondas are reliable cars. My grandpa always told me only buy Japanese cars.
Really?
Yeah.
My mom
He said
always
never
says,
buy American cars.
My mom. I don't know what company or where Ford is from, but
That's
my mom,
America.
they see.
Detroit.
My mom always says, wait, is it Ford? Yeah, Ford. She's like, if you want a car that lasts, get Ford.
Nah, I
So,
wouldn't recommend
That's
that.
crazy because
Pat.
I drive a Ford and it's terrible.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, Colin, do you know about cars?
Not at all.
There
No.
you go. There's the answer. That's why. How do you expect your car to thrive if you're not helping her thrive?
That's true.
I drive a 2003 Honda Civic. I'm in the same boat. It's awful, but it's my favorite and it's reliable.
See, it doesn't have to look pretty, but it's got like the
No, yes, it has
heart
to look
and
pretty.
soul of
No.
just a champion. You know, it's been through a lot. It's lived a long life, but it keeps on going. It's the Tom Brady of cars. You never know when it's gonna
If
go.
my car is not pretty, I'm not driving it.
Oh my god, so bougie.
No. I'm just saying there's standards and it must be met.
You wouldn't drive around in a Honda Civic? It gets you to point A to point B.
Yes, I would never get in your car.
I know. You're used to Escalades and police escorting you in your fancy high class life.
I'm kidding, Isaiah. I would.
Us poor people like Aidan and me, us peasants, drive Honda
Aiden's
Civic.
like, whoa.
Hey, hold
I'm in
on.
the same boat.
I got some money here.
I was working ShopRite, minimum wage. I got the $2,000. I pull up.
Hey.
I'm like,
My man.
He was selling it for $3,000. I'm like, man, I only have $2,000. That is how much. And he gave it to me.
Wow, that's a good deal.
Really?
Yeah, I was
Good
very
on
because I was
you.
talking to him. I was like, dude, there's a spike in the tire. It's gonna cost me like an extra $600.
There you
to
go.
replace it, plus
Okay,
maintenance.
Aiden.
Aiden's about that action.
Should I take you when I buy a car?
No, I know absolutely nothing.
Okay,
about
so no.
He's like, I got
Thank
lucky
you.
one time.
Thank you for being
Um,
honest.
I'm just good at talking.
So funny. Wow. Is this what poor people? No, I'm kidding.
Wow, yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm
Guys, it's the
absolute-
official end of the Morning Buzz with Crystal.
I'm
She's
just
been
kidding. I'm just
demoted to
kidding.
a different show where only rich
Okay.
people talk to each other. From 7 to 9, it's for peasants. But we will be moving on to our next story, which I thought was hilarious, but also sad, but also hilarious for some reason. As a haunted house actor stabbed an 11-year-old boy's foot while trying to scare him. In honor of the spooky season, a haunted house actor stabbed an 11-year-old boy in the foot at a fairground in Ohio by accident. The 11-year-old began his walkthrough of the haunted house when he was confronted by one of the actors holding a Bowie knife. Not a fake one, but a real Bowie knife. The mother of the child spoke on the situation and had this to say. He walked up to my son and he was holding the knife and his intentions were to scare him. But my son responded to him by saying, "That's fake. I'm not scared." The actor began to drag the knife and stab the ground. But then his aim was a little off that night as he made contact with the boy wearing Crocs on his big toe. Workers immediately took the child to the first aid area where they disinfected the cut until the mother arrived. The boy needed a bandage and refused further medical attention. Both he and his mom continued into the horror house until they completed the attraction. The horror company enforces strict rules and protocols which do not allow their scare actors to carry any real weapons, only rubber and foam props. The stab-happy actor was let go due to the rules being violated. He is also being charged with negligent assault. Despite the incident, the company hopes customers understand that they are a safe establishment that has been running for 21 years. The action of the former employee do not reflect the company itself. Wow. Could you imagine being stabbed by accident at a haunted house? That's just...
And then going through the rest of
For
the
right. He's
haunted
like,
house.
that's cool, but like, I really want to finish this haunted house.
You see, I feel like this was set up to be not a good outcome, and I say this because why would you take something that's real and sharp
For real,
in a haunted house?
What did we need a real Bowie knife for?
Yeah, you see, no, no. Poor choices were made, and now he was let go. However, I will say I'm glad I'm sorry, what?
No, I was deservingly that he was let go.
I'm just happy like the cut wasn't as big or as dangerous as it could have been. It was just a little.
When I was reading this last night, I got so scared for a second. I was like, did a guy literally just stab someone in the chest? Because I didn't see the foot part. I was like, this is crazy. And I was like, oh, okay, it's just a foot at least. But also, like, why was he stabbing the floor too?
That just
everything about this guy's actions just don't.
Haunted house?
No.
Well, there you go. That's why you're saying you don't know why. But basically, when you go to like a haunted house, I've gone a couple of times, and when you do, it's just like they are supposed to do things like if it's like one of those, they have like a doctor's jacket and crazy, and they kill their patients. They have blood and they have all these things. Him stabbing the floor was just like to scare him, right? Yeah, it was just like to scare him, and I guess he just missed and stabbed.
I wonder what he said though after he realized he stabbed the kid. It was like, oh, my bad, man. Like, does he commit to the bit? And he's like, nah, I'm just a real murderer now.
It's like, I told you.
Just be like, this is real.
That's like,
Colin, he's funny.
For real.
But no, I mean, I'm excited for this Halloween. I want to go to a haunted house. First of all,
you were excited for Halloween? Weren't we just saying you don't even celebrate Halloween?
I was
like
being
5
sarcastic.
seconds ago?
I celebrate all the holidays. I celebrate every single. I'm celebrating today because
National Coffee Day.
It's National Coffee Day.
Yeah.
Right out of my mouth. Exactly. I am celebrating today because it's National Coffee Day, and I need coffee. I'm
Where's your
17
coffee
minutes.
now?
I know, I didn't get it.
Are you kidding me? I made a coffee at my house, brought it here in honor of National Coffee Day because I totally knew it was National Coffee Day.
Sorry, rich people just buy coffee
yeah,
instead
that's
of
right.
making them.
For
But
us,
actually,
I have to work the farms and get the coffee
wow,
myself.
I didn't even take it that far.
Roast it,
I did not take
grind
that
it,
far.
brew
Go
it.
back to your Honda Civic.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, no. I take it back. My Nana didn't get to make me some coffee. So
Wow. Brag about having Nana.
Nana. Wait, I never understood that. Is when people say a Nana, is that like because in Spanish we say it like similar, but I don't know if it's like the same thing in English. When people say a Nana, are they referring to their grandma or are they referring to like
I imagine it's their grandma when they.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't mean my Nana. I mean, how do you say like la chacha? I'm kidding, first of all. But basically it just means like a maid. There you go. A maid.
Okay.
A maid. Sorry.
I think that would be a nanny, right?
Like a nanny.
Yeah, like a nanny. Okay, well, I don't need a nanny because I'm grown. But
You need a nanny?
But
Do rich people just have nannies for grown adults?
No, I think they're called assistants at that point.
Oh,
Assistants or
yo, if I had that'd be
I love that. Oh my god.
honestly, I don't know what I'd really
No.
use them for.
I don't.
I've always thought about that, and I don't think I would like an assistant because I have so many important decisions I make in a day, and just not only with like school, with my work and my other work, and just with everything, that I feel like I cannot trust someone to do the right things at the right time, the right way.
Like small thing. If you go up to them, you're like, "Hey, can you like order me coffee or like order me food or like
Well, that's
handle
fair.
this busy work?" Just like the small stuff, so you don't have to be bothered with it.
No, because then if I tell him or her to go get me coffee, and then what if they do something to the coffee?
They're not. You're paying them. I feel. I really don't be like that.
Selena could have been something great, but no, she cut that off, and I never really understood why. And like I've read up on it, but I never understood why. Like what? Like
I don't know.
I think it's just jealousy.
I was gonna say, wasn't she jealous?
Yeah.
Hey guys, before we move on to our next story and talk about more murder, so National Coffee Day. Are you guys coffee drinkers?
I drink it for dessert.
For dessert, okay. We're each gonna say what kind of coffee we like. Aidan, you're a former coffee drinker. Tell the people what kind of coffee you would drink.
I would just drink black coffee because it was cheap and it was easy, and I didn't like tasting it.
No. What? You don't like tasting it? Black coffee is like
Black
the
coffee
strongest.
has the most taste.
Yes.
It wasn't that I didn't like
Most bitter
enjoying
one.
the taste because I felt like if I enjoyed the taste, I would like be okay with being addicted to
Bro,
it.
you should have just added in there.
Mate, it was just
At least don't like the taste of coffee.
I am convinced that individuals like Aidan or Colin who drink their coffee black is because they don't know of all the beauties that there is outside, like the syrup or the milk or the creamer or the sugar, all these other sweeteners, I should say.
I understand what you mean because I used to be similar to where I would just drink black coffee. And it was very rare I ever even drank coffee like that in general, but if I did, it would be black. Then eventually, you discover those kind of creamers like that. And then you evolve and you start experimenting with cappuccinos or lattes. I was a former Starbucks barista for like 3 weeks. And I was like, nah, this is not. Okay, here's the thing about working at Starbucks. One, it's very chaotic because the place I was working at, I got trained in a smaller store. And that was fine. The people there were nice. The second store I came to, it was brand new. So it was super busy. And then the people I worked with, I was just not vibing with at all. And what made it completely worse was also the pay. So they were paying you like $12 to do all this work where I could hopefully just get my hours back at the World of Walmart and get paid like $18. So that's what I did. So my time, I still have the apron. Dude, their aprons are quality.
Really?
Yeah, I even kept the name tag too.
With the amount of money they charge for coffee,
yeah,
those aprons better be top quality.
I got to capitalize on some of the perks. I took a bag of coffee home for free. Keys for a while, because you get like one free food item per shift, and I got a couple free coffees. And that was my time at Starbucks. Thank the Lord, it's done. But if I do go to Starbucks, because I still like their coffee from time to time, the ice shake and espresso, whoo, quality. I would recommend.
Do you ever show up in the apron and pretend you work there to get?
I should do that one day. Just be like, all right, guys, I'm here. Are we in a lunch rush or something?
Yeah. You guys need help?
That's funny.
All right. Well, as much as we'd like to talk more about National Coffee Day, we're gonna move on to our next story, which relates to some interesting stuff. Crystal, you wanna take the lead?
Absolutely. Woman accused of starting fawn fire was attempting to boil, you ready for this? Bear urine to drink.
Bear urine.
Oh, bear.
Yeah.
Bear urine to drink. A woman accused of starting the fawn fire in Shasta County was attempting to boil a very odd liquid. What liquid do you ask? Oh, you just some casual bear urine so she could drink it. Silverneva accidentally started the fire as she attempted to boil water from a puddle to drink. So Vernerva had been hiking to Canada, but at some point she felt a tad thirsty. So she found a puddle of water that allegedly had bear urine in it. So she tried to filter it with a tea bag. Sadly, the tea bag wasn't strong enough, so that the next natural option was to boil it. So she attempted to start a fire, but it was too wet, according to Alexandra. So she drank it anyways and continued her walk. So Renerva got stuck in the brush and called the fire department. She was evaluated for dehydration and then questioned by the Cal Fire authorities when she allegedly told them she tried to light a fire. Silvernera was then taken into custody and she was found with CO2 cartridges and a cigarette lighter. The Cal Fire officer who arrested her also says he believes that there is a high possibility that she additionally started a separate vegetation fire for the night before the fire broke out in the city of Shasta Lake. So Renerva faces a felony arson charge with an enhancement of committing arson during a state of emergency. According to the Shasta County District Attorney Stephanie Bridget, she could face up to 9 years in state prison. The fire has so far consumed approximately 8,577 acres and was 60% contained as of the latest Cal Fire update Monday evening in the evening. So far, the fire has destroyed 144 homes and other structures, causing thousands of residents to be evacuated from the area. The fire at one point threatened 9,000 buildings, but the number dropped to 2,340 over the weekend. The light rain that fell periodically over parts of Northern California on Monday was also helping the efforts to contain the fire. So that's what it is.
That's what it is, man.
That's what it is.
Who's out here just boiling bear pee like that?
Weird stuff, man. Weird stuff. And see,
What are we doing
I
here?
don't know.
How did we get here?
First it was Florida,
Yeah.
then state, which I can't remember right now, and now it's California.
You know,
Weird
I feel
states.
like there's a lot of weird stories.
Redneck Florida weird.
Yeah,
They're like
I don't think anybody
modern weird.
Yeah.
Aiden said redneck weird.
Well, I mean, like you won't see anyone in like California breaking into homes and like sucking toes, but
Oh
remember
yes,
that
yes, yes.
That's a
California's got-
Tuesday in
yeah,
Florida.
For those who don't know why Aiden would say that, that's a story on a previous episode. That's just not something he says on the daily. Sucking toes. Or is it?
no, never.
Okay, cool. Aiden is not a toe tucker. But did she not bring water with her on this hike?
That's fair. That I was a Boy Scout. When you get water, you're supposed to boil it, and that's how you like. So she was doing everything right, but you're never supposed to take it out of like a steady. If you're going to get water in the wild, you're supposed to get it from a river that's moving rapidly because that'll keep the bacteria moving. You should never get it from somewhere still because yeah, it could be contaminated with urine, and the water is like placement there, so it's like just filled with all gross kind of stuff.
Wow, Aiden.
Wow.
You
Boy
are
Scout
so
on point with the knowledge.
smart. Okay, let me take down this. No, hold on. Let me write this down. You never know when I might find myself camping.
Yeah.
I need to know what to do.
It's just so
I
gross.
could wait. What?
That she like rule number one, if you're like hiking, don't drink from like a steady pool of water because it's just I have no idea how it got there and how long it's been sitting there.
Hey, she was thirsty.
It's so gross.
That is disgusting. And I think the funniest part though is that she couldn't boil the water and she couldn't use the tea bag to get the urine in it. So she's like, you know what? I'm still gonna drink it.
It's just
like I'm surprised she still went ahead and drank the bear pee.
Like I'm apprehensive about drinking stuff from like streams. I could never do it from a puddle. It's so.
I don't even drink tap
I was
water.
about to say, I'm no.
Here we go again. Crystal and her rich Fiji
No.
water habits. I only drink the fanciest of waters. If it's not sparkling, then why bother?
Have you guys never drank like hose water? It's the same thing.
Yeah, no.
I be drinking tap water from time to
I
time.
do too, but like some tap water, I'm
Yeah.
a little apprehensive.
Brita?
Some tap water. No. I don't even care if someone tells me they have a filter. I don't ever serve
Come
me
on.
tap
So,
water.
okay, Crystal,
Yes.
when you're drinking water, do you only drink from water bottles?
Yes.
You are destroying the environment.
Okay, no. No.
How does that make you
no,
feel,
no.
Crystal?
In my defense, I'm not even gonna lie. I know that my consumption of water that comes from water bottles is terrible and it's not good for the planet. But I do my part in other aspects. I don't drive. I don't have a car. I recycle. I do a whole bunch of stuff that makes me be friendlier to the planet Earth.
But Crystal,
hmm
didn't you just finish your driving test the other day? So eventually you are gonna get a car.
Well, eventually.
So what's gonna give?
Isaias,
what's gonna give? You're gonna have to make a decision at some point. Are you gonna drive, or are you gonna start drinking tap water?
I'm not drinking tap water.
So you're gonna drive and drink from water bottles still?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You have to try that.
I no.
Just take a little bit.
New thing.
No.
Try it.
No.
It's this underground indie thing that everyone loves.
No, I can't. It's not even about like just trying to seem like I don't even know what it just thinks I'm trying to seem, but it's about like the taste. I do not like the taste.
What?
For example, like the fountains from the School of Communication and Media or just anywhere on campus, I don't like it. If you ever see me drinking it, it's because I have to, and I'm and it's like this woman who was boiling bear pee, right? Like I had to do it, and I'm drinking the water. And let me add, and I do not say this lightly, and I was telling this to the station manager Kaya or like a couple of days ago. So I go every single time I come on campus, I afterwards, like eventually after my day, I go to the gym. So obviously by that a day, and I know that's not enough, and I be so thirsty. I am so extremely thirsty. I be thirsty. But anyway, and so I obviously refilled it at the student recreation center. And let me tell you, right? So again, I do not like this water, so I just drink it until I get home. Once I get home, I'll let it like on my table, and then that's it. Sometimes I leave it there for days because I'm busy, right? Tell me why these water bottles, the water inside turned yellow. Yellow. So do not tell me, Isaias, that when I drink bottled water, I am doing something wrong, because I tried to drink that recreational water and it turned out yellow. That cannot be good. That is not healthy. And I think that's an issue that should be addressed.
That is just your healthy supply of lead.
Yeah.
In the tap water. You need that. It strengthens the immune system.
I think he's being sarcastic. He's being sarcastic. He's not being are you being for real?
No, it's actually
in
very
tap
healthy
water,
for you.
there's,
Yeah.
like small amounts of like
I'm kidding.
bad stuff.
No.
It's very small.
That's why you get a Brita, man. Next time you come, get one of those water bottles with like a Brita inside of it. Then you fill it up, let it do its thing, filter it out.
Does that exist?
Yeah, there's water bottles with filters in them.
Those are good.
I haven't bought one, but I've seen it in the
knew
store.
those existed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still not gonna do it because I think
here we go.
I think
I don't believe in filters.
Brita water is nasty too. Well, in my opinion.
What is why?
It just tastes weird.
Maybe you just don't like water.
If it's no. Do not ever disrespect me like that. Ever disrespect me. I don't even like Fiji. I know you mentioned Fiji because everybody thinks that Fiji, well, it is expensive.
I've never had Fiji in my life.
Everybody thinks it's the best one. But I don't drink Fiji. I don't like the taste of it. I think it tastes weird. I do not like it. That's not even a good brand. That's owned by Coca-Cola.
Is it actually Aquafina, or is that the actor? Or are they both the same?
Aquafina.
That's funny.
Same pronunciation, different spelling.
Got it. Okay, cool.
But no, if it's not Essentia, I don't want it. Okay, that new brand.
Essentia is good.
Essentia.
What about boxed water?
Boxed
what?
water?
You guys, okay, it's literally that's the company's name. It's just boxed water.
I had it
That's
once.
Jaden Smith's, right?
I think so. Yeah, Jaden Smith's in it.
I did it once. I mean,
did you like it? Does it taste refreshing?
It didn't have a bad taste, but it wasn't the greatest. It was okay. Could have been better. Could have been worse.
What about smart water? You like smart water?
Smart water is good.
I like smart water.
Smart water is not good for you.
But it tastes good.
Yeah.
It
He's
makes you
looking at me all
smart.
confused. I'm serious.
No, I know like Dasani is bad, but smart water.
Yeah, smart water is not good for you.
What's
Smart
the
water.
okay? What's the problem with smart water?
Smart water. They did this test over during COVID, excuse me, during quarantine, and or during the first months of COVID, I should say. And they basically tested every water with the levels of, I don't know what exactly they were testing, but they were testing for something. And based on the color that the water came out with those chemicals, that's how good or bad it was. If you Google this, I'm sure you can find the video article that I'm referring to. But yeah, it breaks down, like, even like I drink Poland Spring. Even Poland Spring is not the greatest, but you know, it's better than Aquafina or better than smart water is not good for you. Yeah, no, seriously, you have to be careful what water you drink.
That's heartbreaking because like the only choices on campus are Dasani.
Yes, yes, and you know why? You know why?
It's
Because
the cheapest, right?
no, aside from that, it's because they're partnered with Coca-Cola or some, or like the food thingy that they program, whatever it is that they're partnered with Coca-Cola. That's why you see all the fountain drinks, and hence why you only see Dasani on campus, which is terrible because everybody knows this. Even in amusement parks, since we were talking about amusement parks earlier.
Oh wait, Crystal, hold your thought for a second. This is WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the top of the hour here on the Morning Buzz. We're gonna finish this little water talk and then we'll go on to our next show. Carry on, Crystal.
But yes, and I was just saying that just the same way amusement parks only have Dasani because they're partnered with Coca-Cola, and Dasani, hence why it's so expensive, and hence why it doesn't actually take away the feeling of thirstiness, because it's not good for you. So then it makes you to continue to keep buying something, keep buying water, keep spending money. It's not even good for you. Thanks for coming for my TED Talk.
That has been Crystal's TED Talk again. On here on the Morning Buzz, guys, our time is done. It's been Colin, our ADJ, holding it down in the Pringle shirt. Crystal, as always, and Isaiah. It's the Morning Buzz, and we'll be back next week, same crew, but tomorrow, different crew, same concept. Bye, guys.